everyone, and welcome back to Anime Slushy. It's me, Cube.
Hey, it's Phoenix.
It's finally time. The dark, foretold time is here. Because we're going to talk about Magical Girl Sight.
Yes, the final in... Is it the final in this series on post-Madoka Magical Girl shows?
I don't know. There's a few other little shitty ones that I might watch at some point, but this feels like the last, really noteworthy one.
The big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and on that note, content warnings, all things. Just if there's a kind of content that you're really not comfortable hearing about, just assume it's in there because it probably is, because it's some shit.
Okay, so roughly the same sort of content warning as Oscar. If it was in Oscar, it's probably in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, now you know.
Yes. And I'm sorry if I end up sounding like Cal is talking about some of these things. It's not that I don't take these things seriously. It's that it's dumb and it wants to affect me and no, it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to sort of... If the show itself is not taking these things seriously, you can't take them too seriously yourself.
Yeah.
It's one of 3 animes on Amazon Prime here. And Sight's one of them.
Yeah, Amazon Prime, I've noticed, so they have Magical Girl Sight, they had the second season of Yuki Yuna, they had some other dark magical girl thing. It's like they get a lot of really weird fucked up anime. They had Made in Abyss. They got some other, it's like why is that what they're picking up? Or is that just what's left over?
All the other stuff they pick up though tends to be sort of very adult focused stuff. Or stuff that markets itself that way, with slice of life at an office or a relatively serious cop show, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's anime for adults.
Yeah, maybe that is what they're going for, huh? Though it's interesting to note that Magical Girl Sight is a shonen, technically. So I think in some ways you can kind of see how it's, specifically edge marketed at teen boys, more so than, Asuka, which was, for adult men, presumably.
You hope so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so Sight was originally a manga. It started in 2013, so, a couple years after Madoka.
Yes, obviously.
But it also started 1 year after this same mangaka's other comic, which was Magical Girl Apocalypse, or that's what it was localized as. It started in 2012. And the two comics seem like they should be in the same universe because there's a lot of crossover bullshit between them in terms of just elements. And apparently at the very end of Sight, you find out that the villain was secretly somehow the same villain from Magical Girl Apocalypse, but otherwise they totally don't tie into each other at all. It's just him reusing the same ideas. So he's a thought criminal.
Maybe he's the same guy who made Blade Squad and Prayer of the Roller Boys.
That's a deep cut just for us. Yeah, let's do your other podcast, Failure to Launch.
Yes.
But yeah, so, and then just recently when did the anime come out? 2018. So I guess now that's 2 years ago. But they made an anime of it, and it's kind of like Asuka in that it has a ending, but it's very much it could go on to further adventures, though I think it's a little more conclusively ended than Asuka. It's not quite so here's a random side adventure, the end.
Okay, so you're saying it has a satisfying ending.
You'll see. Okay, but speaking of the ending, we actually see it at the very beginning of the show because that's how the show opens.
With the ending.
Yes. So it's a cold open, and you see, and it seems like time has stopped. There's a train, it's not moving, the sky is red, and the main girl appears, and she's got a magical gun. We'll learn more about that later. She's holding hands with another girl. Who's that? And she says, now I know my despair isn't for someone else to decide. We are... the OP plays. So
Okay.
You'll see that again at the very end of the show.
Mystery.
Yeah. Oh, and you see that there's a character called the site administrator that's super spoopy looking, but they're frozen in front of the train. So it's so they somehow got it they're going to kill the site administrator by making the train hit it when time unstops. And yeah, that's what happens at the end. And it's very strange that they just showed us that up front. Because this is the main villain of the show.
But it's treated like you don't know what's going to happen or something, or whether or not this person's going to be stopped.
I feel kind of like they're really like relying on you forgetting that this happened and that you saw this. It's like, we promise we are going somewhere with all of this bullshit, kind of. We're trying to take it seriously. Okay, don't worry about it. It's time for the opening. Pew, 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 pew.
It's funny because that is a thing that people do sometimes in post with stories. Like, have you ever seen American Beauty?
No.
Oh, okay. Because that's essentially like a slice of life story about Kevin Spacey playing a dad, suffering suburban ennui, who, makes a change, does a bunch of weird shit. And the story doesn't seem to be going anywhere until the very end. But when they found that when they cut the film in post, it was like, nothing really happens. And then at the end, spoilers, he dies. He gets shot in the head.
I knew it was like sad or something.
Yeah, but what they realized was it made it a lot more suspenseful if right at the start you had a voiceover from him telling you at the end of this film, I'm going to die. Basically.
Yeah.
And it actually does kind of drag you through. It maintains a little level of suspense. But that probably shouldn't, the thing they tell you probably shouldn't be, oh yeah, we win and we defeat the villain.
Yeah. It's a strange thing to spoil.
Yeah.
But I guess if you didn't kind of already know what was happening, it would just be like a lot of kind of hard to understand imagery. So I read the manga up to most of what they cover in the show because I like reading train wreck trash sometimes. So
really do you, Cube? You like trash sometimes?
I know it's hard to imagine, I'm sure, but I like to eat that trash. Yum yum yum. So I can actually make some comparisons between like how stuff was handled in the manga and how stuff was handled in the show, which kind of makes the show funny sometimes because it feels like the show is trying to take itself more seriously than maybe it should.
more seriously than the comic did.
Yeah, because obviously the comic is very pulp and very like, it's stupid, look at it, bleh. But then the show is like really trying to get you emotionally invested in these characters, but a bunch of like stupid, bullshit, edgy, half-joking stuff is still happening to them. So it's a very strange tonal mix.
Was the manga... Was the original author involved in the anime all that much? Like, is that the sort of thing that happens when the guy who's making it, I assume it's a guy.
Oh yeah.
When the guy's making it knows the seriousness with which it should be treated, but then when someone's making a series out of it, they're like, no, this is going to be real. It's going to be serious. I want to tell a serious story.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt he was involved much with it. I don't think this was like a very big studio or whatever. They're probably just like, we need one of those dark magical girl properties. Okay, we got one. Just make a show.
Yeah, no, fair.
So, because what we see after the opening, a lot of the worst stuff in this show is front-loaded because the entire first episode is the main girl suffering to the point where the magical girl site contacts her, and it's a bunch of shit.
Oh, okay. So they approach her to become a magical girl because she was suffering?
Yes. You will find out that everyone they approach to become a magical girl is like, they'll come on the screen and be like, how unfortunate. And it's like, do you want to become a magical girl?
And let me guess, being Maguka is suffering?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything's suffering. Not being Maguka is suffering, being Maguka is suffering. Welcome to this world. So... Because after the opening, so the opening is pretty good, but like during the entire thing, there's these huge cracks that cover up like half of the screen, and it almost feels like they were worried that the animation was too boring, and it's like, oh, this looks kind of empty and undone. Just cover it in a bunch of cracks so it's kind of harder to see what's happening, and that'll make it seem cooler and more artistic.
So you're not talking about the OP, you're talking about the actual opening of the show.
I'm talking about the OP. Yeah, the OP song.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, and then like halfway through the show when they get to like the second version of the OP with more of the later characters, a bunch of it's also covered in these like chains. So like they'll be showing like the little dynamic shots of the characters, but there's chains on top of it and cracks on top of that. And it's like, what are you doing? Why don't you want me to see the OP?
It's very cheap.
Yeah, it is a pretty cheap show. There's no like good action scenes or whatever in it.
No.
But it's not quite as miserable to look at as Asuka, because at least the character designs are kind of cute sometimes or whatever. They're not as bad as the Asuka ones.
Okay, but hang on, so good designs?
Not good. There's at least colors.
Oh, okay.
Which
Yeah,
Asuka
fair.
didn't
All right.
have. But anyways, so after the opening, we immediately meet main girl. So she's a short girl. She's got long black hair, and she always has like the most tired looking eyes. And she's just miserable, and her name is Aya. And she's considering jumping in front of a train to kill herself.
Great, cool.
And she lets us know that all she thinks about every day is dying.
So, yeah, okay. This is where we're starting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then she goes to school and you see three bully girls and they're laughing at her. Why are they laughing at her? She opens up her shoebox and there's a bunch of razors and tacks in her shoes. And she goes to sit in her chair in the classroom, but there's a bunch of super glue on it, and she just sits in it, and her desk is covered in graffiti that tells her that she should die.
Okay. So it's the over-the-top bullies.
Oh yeah, because then we cut to the bathroom, and as I told you in Asuka, this is the #1 place for bullying.
And the teachers are doing nothing, I suppose, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because like when she's looking at the glue on the chair, the teacher is like, "Sit down, Aya. We need to start class," and then so she just sits in it, and the teacher's like, "Blah blah 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 blah." This is why whenever I watched A Silent Voice, I said it reminded me of Magical Girl Sight, because it's that same, like, everybody over the top bullying her, everyone's in on it, the teacher doesn't even notice or care, you know?
Yeah, except in A Silent Voice, it was meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah. Oops. That's why I don't like that movie. Ha ha ha. So they're in the bathroom. They're like drowning her in the toilet and shit. And apparently they do this every day. And they're just like, this is boring.
They're sick of it.
Yeah.
Sick of the daily grind of bullying this girl.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
How lame. So, but then, how nice. She remembers there was this time she met a stray kitten. Oh, I'm sure nothing bad will happen to this stray kitten.
Oh, come on. We're not getting to animal harming already, are we?
Oh yeah, we are. And it's funny because like she gives it milk, and I'm like, that kitten doesn't need milk. That kitten needs food. It's too old for milk. The cats get lactose intolerant. You're killing this kitten.
Hey! You've had at least one cat that demanded milk for far too long.
That's true, latte. But still, you gotta treat it better than that. You gotta give it food.
Okay, yes.
But as she's giving it the milk, you see that one of the bully girls, the blonde bully girl, was spying on her and kitten, and it's like, oh no. And then
Is one of these bullies? Okay, no, sorry, I'll stop. I'll wait.
yeah. So cut to her family life, and so she has a mom and dad that seem okay, and her brother is some kind of prodigy student thing, and her brother is the worst part of this show. And
what's the brother do?
So he regularly ties her up and beats her, just as a stress relieving thing.
Okay.
And the scene where you see him doing that, he punches her in the stomach, and she's like, "Don't punch me in the stomach. I won't be able to get my period." Which is a very real girl thing to say, of course.
I know how all you women always look forward to your period.
Oh, it's the best. I can't wait. It's what makes me a woman.
Oh, fuck.
So then he starts choking her out.
Of course.
And she's just like really like thinking to herself like, oh, it's pretty hard to be me. Life sure is pretty rough.
Oh god. How much of the episode is this? The first episode? Like how many minutes?
I think the end of the first episode is like her getting the stick and something else happening. So, yeah, pretty much all the first episode is just her being abused by various people.
Oh, God.
It's so important. So, and I do think, like, the anime makes this worse because at least in the manga, you can cover a lot of this stuff kind of, like, really quickly. You know, like, in a few panels, you can establish a lot of these things. But the anime tries to, like, really draw it out and make it dramatic. So you're just kind of, like, sitting there with all this stupid bullshit for way longer.
Yeah. I hate asking this question, but is it drawing it out, do you think, because it's trying to be dramatic, or is it drawing it out because it's like a sex thing?
It's hard to say. I think it is trying to be dramatic. Because there's a lot of like sad music and like really like showing her face like, oh, aren't I so sorrow? Everything is so sorrow for me. So I think it's trying to be dramatic about it.
Okay, because like I know in Oscar, it was very much this is porn. There was no buts, but like in this, it is just trying to be edgy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as much like a specific fetish for abuse or whatever in this. It just feels like, like it's for teen boys. Isn't that edgy? It's fucking stupid. So as she's lying in her bed being all sad after being abused by her brother, she's looking at her laptop and the magical girl site appears. Da, da, da.
So it's a website?
Yes. And I'm going to send you a picture of the site administrator because you kind of need a visual. I'll try to describe it too, but it's kind of hard to describe exactly.
You'll of course see this in the chapter markers and the visual. Whee!
So yeah, it's this like super creepypasta, like more realistic than the style of the show, like spoopy little girl with like a kind of weird guy face.
Yeah, and too many teeth.
Yeah.
And not like shark spiky teeth, just like imagine if you had more teeth in your mouth.
Yeah. But it's like realistically drawn, like obviously in this show that's very simple anime people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, so she's pretty spoopy.
Okay.
And so she shows up on the screen and she's like, "Oh, how unfortunate. We'd like to offer you magical powers." And she's like, "What?" And they're like, "We'll send you the magic sticky." And so one of the weird things about this show is that they aren't really magical girls, or they're only kind of. Every girl gets a stick, which can be anything. I don't know why they call them sticks, but it's like your magical item that has some kind of ability that it lets you use. And when you use it, you get you bleed from somewhere, and it's different for everybody. But yeah, obviously they go there for some people, and and your hair gets slightly longer and gets like a color gradient at the bottom, but you don't like transform or anything.
Oh, okay. So. But it gives you magic powers, or the stick has magic powers?
The stick has magic powers, so you can only use it while you have the stick. And if someone else takes your stick, they can use the power of the stick.
Okay, so like if you want to like cast a spell or shoot a bolt or something, it comes from the stick, or it comes from you as long as you have the stick?
It depends on what the power is.
Okay,
I guess. Because so she hears about that and she's like, "What?" But then it's next morning. She sees that the kitten got run over by a train.
Okay.
So right, okay. Getting that done.
That's that's a little better than what I thought was going to happen. I thought like the bullies were like going to be so extreme that they killed the cat.
Oh, they did. Yeah, the one bully threw it in front of the train.
Okay, all right. So the bullies are full on sociopaths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck you. So
that's so cheap. That's such a cheap like harming animals as a way to like endear sympathy or make someone feel bad. It's just that's one of the cheapest, shittiest things you can do.
Well, what's the other more shitty, cheap thing you can do that someone that a teenager would do to another teenager?
No, I'll know because it's about to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So at first she's not sure that it's the kitten. She's like, "Oh, I hope that's not the kitten that I knew," but she'll find out later at the dramatically appropriate time. So she goes to her shoe locker, and her stick is in it. And it's a little gun. I actually like the design of it because it's a gun, but the barrel is a heart shape. And it's just like this kind of like chunky cartoon looking gun. And she's like, "What is this?" And it has a little instruction thing with it that's just like aim and shoot. And it's like, mysterious.
Okay. That almost seems like something the bullies would have left in her locker. Just like to fuck with her.
That's true. Like, and then she tries to use it on them and they'd be like, "Ha ha, bitch." You dummy. Because then it cuts to the bullies bullying her in a supply closet, and they're just kind of beating her, and they're like, whatever, not feeling it. But one of them calls a guy friend of theirs.
Oh.
It's time for some sexual assaults.
Uh,
So it won't succeed, but it's still like it's so gross.
Yeah.
So she runs away, and they're running after her, and she goes and she hides in a car park. And it's funny because like the bully guy is like, I'm bored. I think I want to just leave. And the blonde bully girl is like, no, you can't leave. We have to do this. It's really important. It's so stupid.
these are such realistic bullies. This is definitely how bullies behave.
I know, it was great. But so she's like, oh, maybe they're leaving, thank goodness. And then like he like jump scares her behind the car, and he's like holding her down. And then the blonde bully is like, hey, bitch. And she throws the collar of the kitten down. And she's like, that's the kitten, right? That you liked. We killed it. Ha ha. So,
God.
so stupid.
It is.
It's just like everything at once. Like, it's not good enough that you're being sexually assaulted. No.
Yeah. Now, is this a definition of a wooby character?
Yes, Aya is definitely very much the woobiest you can possibly be.
So yeah, it's a character who is you're only meant to like because they constantly suffer and are being kicked.
Yes.
And that's meant to be their appeal. Because that's all she's got going on for her in this episode, right?
Oh yeah.
It's just a montage of suffering.
She's a victim, much like Weiss.
Yes.
But she's actually a victim. So, but hey, she pulls the gun out, and it's kind of interesting when she uses the gun, her eyes get like a slit appears down her eyes, like a razor cut them almost, and that's kind of an interesting visual. And then she shoots them, and so when she fires her gun, a big heart-shaped smoke puff comes out of it and teleports whatever it like goes through. So it makes like a big heart-shaped portal.
Right.
And so the bully guy and girl disappear, and then she hears the sound of someone being hit by a train, and obviously it's them. They got hit by the train.
Ah, so the gun, was that her intention, or was that just what happened?
That's just what happened.
Right.
She didn't know it was going to happen.
Seems fair.
Oh yeah, like obviously like it's kind of satisfying, but also everything is so stupid that I'm like, good riddance, whatever.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah. Like I definitely don't feel bad.
Yeah. But she feels bad. Oh, and the place that she bleeds from is her eyes, thankfully. So it's like that's a decent place.
Okay, yeah.
But so she goes over and it's like, what? They died? They got hit by the train? And then she's freaking out. She's like, oh no, did I do it? Oh no, this is horrible. And she's trying to get the site to come back up, but it won't load anymore. And she's like, oh, I don't understand. And so it's the next day at school, and the deaths are being announced in class, and the teacher doesn't even care. He's like, oh, these people are dead. Boo.
It would be funny if the teacher just doesn't give a shit. Some students died.
Yeah, it's realistic. It's very gritty. So then Aya looks over to Sarina, who is the main bully, but she wasn't there for that whole incident, and she will be an important character. So she's got a snaggletooth, and she's the red-haired one. And the main bully is looking over to her like, And then they cut to the main bully choking her in the bathroom, and she's like, "You did this somehow. I know that they went after you, and then they died. This is your fault."
Okay.
And so she pulls out a razor and she puts it in Aya's mouth, and like she's gonna cut open her mouth or whatever. And then suddenly time stops.
Oh.
And we meet the Homura of this tale.
Oh, of course, there has to be one. So, hang on, is this Madoka then, the main character?
Not really. It's not actually very close to Madoka in many ways, except for like a couple of the twists are like, did you just take that from Madoka?
Okay.
But otherwise, they aren't very similar or anything. And this girl, at least she doesn't have long black hair, so it's no Granbelm in that sense. She has short blonde hair, but she's the deuteragonist.
Does she time travel?
She can stop time.
Okay. Right.
So she has a certain kind of control over time.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Later, actually, in the manga, they introduce a girl who can put back time by 1 minute, and they cut her out of the anime because she's like in some events that they end up covering in the anime. And I'm a little bummed they cut her out because she looks like she's in a completely different style from everyone else. She's got like shark teeth and she just looks fucking ridiculous, and I would have liked to have seen her animated.
Maybe that's why she wasn't there.
Yeah.
This doesn't fit. Yeah.
But so short blonde haired girl has stopped time to save her, and she bleeds from her mouth whenever she stops time. And she just takes the razor out of the bully's hand and she slits the bully's throat with it.
Oh my God.
And she's like, well, come with me. Let's get out of here.
She just straight up kills this other girl.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait, because it seems that way, but this must have been like a chapter break but in the comic, because then shortly after she's like, that won't kill her. She'll be okay. But it's like she fucking slit her throat open.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What do they mean that won't kill her? How does it not kill her?
I have a feeling the mangaka decided that he liked that bully character so much that he wanted to keep her around, so he later decided that it didn't actually kill her.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so short blonde hair girl is like, let's go, we need you, Aya, for something. And then it's time for the ending song to play.
Okay. I was actually wondering, like, do the magical girls in this show actually fight some sort of evil? Or have they just got a lot to deal with?
Yeah, there's no like monsters or anything that they need to fight other than the administrators who they'll end up fighting.
Right, okay.
But yeah, there's no like monster of the week kind of thing.
Mm.
So the ending is worth noting because it's live action. And so there's like 2 schoolgirls, and one has like short hair and one has long hair, but they're clearly supposed to be the main characters, but I guess they realized it looked too weird to make her light blonde, so they both have like actual natural hair. And they're like dancing on a school roof in this like really exaggerated way, and there's these sperms flying in the sky.
Okay.
And that's the ending that happens. Because I think the sperms are supposed to be like souls or something, but they're very blatantly sperm shaped. It's the ball with the little taily.
When you say, okay, a couple of questions. When you say they're dancing, what sort of dancing?
Just like super exaggerated, almost like interpretive dance. Like there's a really good shot where they both like do a kind of like ballet leap in opposite directions, and you see all the sperms flying in the sky, and it's like in slow motion.
Okay. When you say, are the sperms like 3D? Are they clearly hand-drawn?
They're 3D. So it's like 3D CG mixed with live action footage.
Was it just cheaper to do this rather than animating or something, or?
Because I mean, so many endings can be just one picture zooming out. So I don't know why they felt like they needed to do this weird shit. I guess they just thought it would be interesting.
And it doesn't. I'm guessing it doesn't tie back into the show in any way. Okay.
It's just weird. There's a different live action ending that they use for a different character that's way worse to me.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
I am already very afraid. Like the thing is, like watching Oscar, you're watching it and it's awful. But when I got to tell you about it, obviously I wasn't afraid of anything. I already knew what it was. Hearing about Sight is a different experience.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, it'll be interesting seeing like how you describe a weird ass show and how I react, and then how I describe a horrible show and you react. It's probably slightly different experiences.
Yeah, no, it's a very different experience. I mean, you're right. It's dumb, so I'm not really being affected by it, but I am sort of annoyed by how stupid this is.
Yeah, it's like all I can think of, especially as someone who draws comics, is just like the comic creator sitting there like, you got to draw all of this shit, and this is like, you dummy.
Then I'm going to do this, and it's going to be rad. Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, so this guy, he doesn't like plan anything. Like, I read way too much of Magical Girl Apocalypse, which, like, halfway through that one, it becomes like a sci-fi story in the future. And it's like completely unrelated to most of what we've seen, and it goes on and on, and it is just like, where is your editor? What are they doing?
So it never ties back.
It does eventually, but it's like completely unnecessary that we spent like half the comic on this thing that is not a magical girl apocalypse. It's like he doesn't want to tell stories about magical girls, but someone keeps making him.
It's kind of kind of like it's a sort of a webcomic thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just start making a comic but you didn't really have a plan for where it was going, and then it just sort of goes and goes, and you don't know what to do.
Yeah. And so it's like, in a way, Sight almost feels like a reboot of Apocalypse, but with a slightly more planned story and a slightly better setup and stuff. Because, like, sticks are, with magical powers are a thing that show up in Apocalypse. Magical women whose eyes get slits when they use their magic is also a thing. Like, there's all these, like, weird overlapping elements, but again, they don't seem like they tie into each other until, I guess, he, like, does a hand-wavy thing at the very end of one of them.
Right. Okay.
So it's just like, who knows?
It's not hard to just add something that says, oh no, that was totally the same universe. I wasn't just reusing shit.
Yeah, because apparently, like, the bad guy who dies at the end of Apocalypse, at the end of Sight, is like, no, he actually didn't die, and he was controlling the main bad guy of this one the entire time. So I was like, yeah, you definitely planned that. Sure, whatever, fucker. So, episode 2.
Also, Palpatine's alive.
Oh, no. You don't get to make jokes about it. You liked it.
I did like it. And you didn't get to make fun of it. You haven't seen it.
I know. I'm not going to make fun of it, but it's funny to see you make fun of, like, because, yeah, it's dumb.
I know it's dumb. I still liked it.
Yes, valid. Okay, so they're walking down the time-frozen street and talking, the yellow hair and the main girl. And so yellow hair's her sticky is a cell phone. It just looks like a smartphone. And then she presses pause on it and time stops. And she says that she can make anyone who she wants to not have time stop for, she can, just make them not stop time. Bleh.
Okay.
I said that very well.
But and she can make time stop for as long as she wants.
Yeah, though, so at some point, so whenever you use your power, you get a symbol on, like, the inside of your arm, and whenever you use your power, the symbol, like, slowly fades away from top to bottom. So, like, the main girl has a heart symbol on her arm, but as she uses her power, it decreases, and obviously, like, you get the impression that once your symbol runs out, you'll die or something.
Mm. Does it not reset every time you start over, or is it just like you have a limited amount and that's it?
Yeah, you have a limited amount.
Okay.
So it's just like you can't use your powers as much as you want because eventually something bad is presumably going to happen.
Yeah. That said, I suppose at least in this setting, if you want to stop being a magical girl, you can just stop, right?
Yeah. Yeah, under normal circumstances, you would be able to.
Oh, okay.
So they're having this conversation about, like, the yellow hair girl's just like, hey, bad people, you should just kill them, fuck them. And main girl's like, oh no, I don't know. So you see time unfreeze and you see the bully girl and just, like, blood gushes out of her neck, but she's fine. She'll be fine. It's cool.
Cool.
And so yellow hair girl visits Aya's house and they, like, meet her brother briefly and she can tell that he's not cool, even though apparently most people wouldn't be able to tell or whatever.
Mm.
And she explains about the magic symbol and how when it runs out, you'll probably die or something. Oh yeah, so she does explain it here. And she explains that she needs Aya because her friend was killed by a magical girl who's killing other magical girls to collect their sticks.
Okay, that makes sense as villain motivation, I guess.
Yeah.
Get a lot of sticks, do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So that's what they need to work together to hunt down the magical hunter, is what they're calling her.
Okay.
And she has a picture of what the killer girl looks like, and it's some girl with short black hair making a crazy face or whatever. And she's like, let's work together to not get killed.
Sorry. This is a fun motivation.
Yeah.
Let's not die. Yeah.
It's valid. So she stays the night, and then you see the brother being all gross, like, oh, I can't abuse Aya tonight. Oh, woe is me. Oh, and at the end of every episode, they have, for, like, the next episode preview thing, they have a humorous thing with the brother thinking, like, weird thoughts and stuff, because that's the kind of dumb bullshit tone this show has. Yeah,
great. Because I'm really amused by jokes made by this guy.
Yeah, it's good fun times.
Yeah.
So we cut to the murder girl, and she's looking at a photo book with a bunch of girls' faces in it. That's called the murder book or something. So one of her items that she has is a book that just has pictures of every magical girl. And you see her look at a picture of Aya, the main girl, and she's like, I guess I'll go after her next. Ha ha ha. Oh, and it is kind of funny that you see them back in class, and the third bully, who's not really a character, but she's looking over at Aya, and she's all freaked out because people just keep dying all mysteriously. So she's like, "Guess I'm next." But I don't think she ever comes back, and she's not actually next, so she's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm glad she gets a happy ending.
Yeah, good for you, third bully girl. So right away, it's time for the magical hunter girl to show up and attack Aya. So her design is that she has glasses, she has pink hair in like ponytails, like low ponytails or pigtails, and she's got huge titties.
Big old titties.
Big old bitties. So she just shows up, but then, like, she's being suspicious. So Yellow freezes time, but the glasses girl, she has a stick that makes this big old cube that negates magic. It's time for the power of cube.
Oh no, a cube.
So it like creates this zone that if you try to move into it, it's like there's a glass wall there and no magic can penetrate it. And so she and Aya are inside it, and she brings out another stick that's a hammer, and she's gonna attack Aya with the hammer. Oh, but first she explains that she looks different than the yellow girl thought she'd look because she used a camera stick that lets you take a picture of anyone and then you'll look like them. But this never matters, because like... So yellow girl thought she looked like a different person, but then she immediately shows up and you find out that she looks like this now. And she never uses the camera again. And in the manga, they don't mention it in the anime because it doesn't matter. But in the manga, there's like a thing where the person that she took the picture of is the bully's older sister. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't relate to anything. It never comes up again.
That seems like a useful power, and they do nothing with it.
Yeah, he forgot or whatever.
Okay, yeah, cool. But it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter in the scene it was introduced in either.
Nope.
Yeah, cool. All right, cool.
It's completely irrelevant from if she just always looked like that.
So I guess yeah, the form we're looking at is not her original form, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Other than like later you find out the yellow girl's like, oh, the girl that I said was killed by the magical hunter, she actually is the magical hunter, and I've been hunting her down to try to stop her. And it's like, okay, I don't care. I didn't know this character.
Now, also, when you say that she pulls out a stick that's a hammer, is it just a hammer?
Yeah, this is a hammer.
Okay. But it's not magical, so she can presumably use it inside her cube.
Oh, no, you can use magic within the cube. You just can't use magic from outside the cube to affect the inside of the cube.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, so she's got a hammer, and it just smashed good. That's its power. It smashed real good.
Okay. And Aya can't use her teleporty gun to send her away?
She can, but she doesn't want to, because what if she gets hurt? I don't want to kill anyone.
What if this psycho girl with a hammer who's trying to kill me gets hurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Yatsumura, the yellow girl, is just like, you just have to do it. Just if you won't believe in yourself, believe in me. She won't die. So then Aya finally shoots her, and she's teleported away.
Mm-hmm.
And time starts again. Oh, wait, no. Time is still stopped. So the cube goes away, but Yatsumura is like, look, we have to go look for her now because she'll be somewhere frozen in time. So you find out that she sends people to wherever she's thinking of when she teleports them. So that's why she teleported the other two in front of the train, because she was thinking about how the cat had died by being hit by the train.
Okay. So what was she thinking about this time?
Yeah, so she's like, well, where might you have been thinking about? And she was thinking about where the cat used to hang out, like under a bridge. And so they go there, and the murder girl is just kind of like frozen in midair, swinging her hammer down. It does look kind of funny. So they tie her up on a bench and unfreeze time. And they're like, hey, we know who you are, blah, blah, fuck you. And her name is Rina. And she says that she needs a lot of sticks because it's the only way to survive until the end when the Tempest comes. And so that's a big keyword that we've learned now, is the Tempest is the thing that's going to happen.
The Tempest.
So every stick has like a USB plug that you can take out of it. and if you plug it into your computer, you can access the back end of the site where it has a countdown to the Tempest. And apparently when the Tempest happens, the world will end and a new world will begin or something.
Or something.
Yeah, it is very like or something. And it's funny because it has like a countdown, but it's just a bunch of numbers and you aren't quite sure what the metric it's using is. And it has a date, but you don't know what like today's date is usually. So I never had a good grasp on like in how long the Tempest was supposed to be.
Right.
I was just like, we have to do this before the Tempest, but they never say like we only have X number of days or whatever. And we won't get to the Tempest in this season. So who knows?
Okay. We're just not going to, yeah, okay. We're not going to deal with this right now.
Yeah, so don't worry about that too much.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
So she's explaining all that, and then Murder Girl spits up a bunch of blood and passes out. And they're like, what? And then, so the stinger that you see before the end of the episode is another character that we're going to meet who's an idol girl, and you see her and she's biting her finger. She's like, I have to kill her. End of episode. So
oh, no.
She seems like a lovely person.
Who does she have to kill?
It's Murder Girl. She has to kill Murder Girl.
Oh, okay.
So episode 3 opens with a proper introduction to this idol girl. And so her idol group that she's a part of feels like it's almost funny because it's a parody, it feels like, of idol groups. Because her idol group is Inu Asobi, which means dog play. And they're explaining, like, we think of, like, all the fans are like our master, and we're like their dogs. And obviously it's really gross, but it's like, it's almost kind of funny. Because it's like idol culture is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it does kind of, that does kind of feel like a comment on the way people relate to idols. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, I'm almost down with that as like a weird dark joke in this setting. But so you're viewing this through like a TV screen, and there's some kind of like obsessed fan who has all of her merchandise all over everywhere. And so her name is Nijimin, and she has light teal hair, kind of like Miku, and pigtails, but she doesn't quite look like Miku because she has like straight bangs. And so she's Nijimin, and she's very cute. But we already know that she has a darker side of some sort. Ooh. So we cut to the main girls, and they're at the hospital with the murder girl who's in a coma now, and the doctor is explaining like all her organs are all fucked up, but we can't figure out why. And it's because her stick is mostly used up. Her power, her symbol on her arm is mostly used up. So apparently, like once you get to the end of using it up, your body gets all fucked up.
Okay. So you start to sort of shut down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But meanwhile, they've collected all the sticks that she stole, so they have a bunch of stickies.
So the magic is sort of unrelated. Your use of sticks is unrelated to a specific stick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you just only get to use sticks so often, no matter what stick it is.
Yeah, because it's like whenever the murder girl picks up a different stick, the symbol in her eyes changes to whatever that stick is, and then she just uses it. So you can use it regardless of who you are.
But you can only use like the stick any stick X number of times before you were fucked. Yeah. Okay.
So Aya's like, it seems like everyone who's a magical girl is pretty fucked up, huh? And it's like, why were you chosen to be a magical girl, yellow hair girl? What happened to you? But she's not going to tell her. But we do see a flashback that implies that yellow girl's parents died. Okay. So whatever, they were killed.
That's getting off relatively easy for a show like this, to be honest.
Yeah, almost.
Okay.
We'll learn more later. But so they're like, I wonder maybe if there's a magical girl who could help Rina with her magic. Like maybe there's a magical girl who can heal. And so they're looking, because they want to wake her up because they think that she might know more about this Tempest thing that's so dangerous. So they want to talk to her more. But so they have the photo book now that has the pictures of all the different magical girls, and they actually spot the idol girl in there because, she's very distinctive looking. So they're like, oh, well, let's go talk to her and see what her power is. And so they go to a fan meetup and stop time and shoot her with the teleport gun so they can talk to her.
Where was she thinking about?
Just like in the middle of a park.
Oh, okay.
But apparently this was actually Aya's idea to do this, and Yellow's like praising her, like, hey, you actually, you're actually kind of devious sometimes. And so they unstop time and they're like, hey, you're a magical girl, right? And Idle Girl is actually super excited to meet them. And she's just like, oh, other magical girls? Whoa, that's great. Let's all be friends. Bah. And they're kind of like taken aback by that because it's a little weird. They were expecting her to be more, like suspicious or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they explain that they need a healer for a friend who's in a coma, and she's about to tell them about what her powers are, but then her assistants are like, Nijimin, where did you go? Why are you suddenly out in a park? This is really fucking weird. So I guess they didn't teleport her very far away.
No, but I mean, yeah, to the people who were around them while they stopped time, she would have just disappeared in front of them, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
And they're just like, why did you leave somehow suddenly? That's weird. And so she's like, oh no, I gotta go back. But then she's like, okay, come to my apartment at this time. And there's like a weird effect to where you can tell there's like something, like somehow she's forcing them to do that.
Okay. So her power is, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she has control powers. And Yellow is like, why is she so confident? That's weird. There's something weird about her. But they go to meet her at her apartment later that night. And her apartment's full of a bunch of creepy servant people who are just like at her beck and call. And so she explains that her magical stick is panties. She shows them.
What?
They're mind control panties. When you wear them, you can tell people, you can control people. But they're panties. Because they're panties.
I thought you said this wasn't sexual.
That's true. But see, like, this part is... this part's very... It's like such a teen boy shonen kind of sexual, because it's like, hey, you get to look at underwear, you know?
Yes, that's true.
It's such a, like, stupid baby kind of sexual.
It is, but that's also like a fetish object, though, isn't it?
Oh, totally. No, yeah, this aspect is pretty sexual, yeah. This is fine.
You know, I had definitely heard about there was a show with mind control panties somewhere, and I'd just forgotten that, I guess. And now I know.
No one expects the mind control panties. Is that the real thing?
Okay, so she has mind control panties she's wearing.
Yeah, and she's like, where I bleed from when I use them is a secret.
Of course.
It's like, I have a guess.
Yeah. So... But like she's sort of, if she's just got these people who she's enslaved, she's just sort of openly evil then?
No.
No?
That's just normal.
So that doesn't come up.
So this is the kind of show where literally everyone is fucking crazy. So like the baseline level of crazy is like completely fucking insane.
Except for the protagonists, I guess?
Except for Aya. We'll find out more about Blonde Girl later.
Okay.
But yeah, just always work under the assumption that everyone is fucking crazy in some way.
Okay. I'll run with that.
So they ask her if she knows any other magical girls, and she suddenly like starts acting really weird, and you find out that she had a best friend magical girl who was killed by the magical hunter.
Right.
And so they're like, oh god, we can't tell her about who our friend that we want to help is because it's her and she'll want to kill her.
Sure.
And so they're like, well, we don't know what to do about this now. So they exchange contact information, and it's like, well, I guess we'll meet up later. And Aya actually suggests that they stop time to steal the magical girl panties, but for some reason Yellow Hair Girl doesn't want to do that. She's like, that's weird. So they don't do that for now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is weird.
But I feel like fair enough.
Yeah.
Like they should though, because she's clearly crazy. Yes,
but if what you're saying is accurate about it, everyone on the show is crazy.
Yeah, they're just like, that'd be rude to do. So it's time to, so they go back to the hospital, and we see Bully Girl, who is now recovered from having her throat slit open. And she just, like, she has a quote-unquote scar. That's, like, a very specific kind of thing you see in anime, where it's, like, a big line, but then, like, with little cross lines across it. It's, like, very stylized. It's, like, I don't know how you'd get a scar that looks like that from having your throat slit open.
Yeah, they don't just stitch it shut, as far as I know.
Yeah, and even then it wouldn't really look like that.
No.
Because that's what the scar looks like. The scar looks like this, like, hatched line. Whatever. So she's thinking about, like, Haya must have done this somehow. I remember my razor was in her mouth. What did she do? And so conveniently, they're in the same hospital as her, and she hears them talking, because they're just, like, out in the hallway at night talking about magical girl shit. And she's like, what? Magical girls? Huh? Buh. And so they leave, and she sneaks into the room where they were, with Rena there, and the admin shows up, the creepy, spoopy girl admin, and she's like, hey, I want to be a magical girl? And this is the point in the manga where she was like, why is my sister out in a coma in the bed? Why does she look like my sister? But then it never ever comes up pretty much again.
Okay.
So they just didn't do that in the anime.
Okay, yeah.
And then this ending is the one that bothered me, because they got live action girls to be Dog's Play, to be that creepy ass idol group and sing about how it's you can own me, master, and shit. Please take me home. And that was like, don't get real girls involved in this. Come on.
Yeah, like yeah, but basically, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Because now it's real. Yeah, now you've actually made it. There was a shoot where girls had to do that.
Yeah, and it's like they show her and like she has like the natural color of hair and stuff, but then they like will cut to like pictures of Nijimin doing like the same poses and stuff, but it's like these are clearly not the same person. Like I can't see this as the same person as that weird ass looking moe girl.
I mean, I guess if the idea was with that idol group idea to be shocking as a commentary on idol groups, actually doing it with real girls is more shocking and perhaps more effective.
Yeah, like I guess that got me in the way it was supposed to, because it was really creepy.
Yeah, and idol groups can be can be kind of creepy.
So slowly rising my thumbs up while also barfing, I guess. Good job.
I now think idol groups are even creepier than I already thought they were.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Ooh. So next episode starts with Bully Girl, and she's learned a lot about the site. She's been told all about it by that administrator, whose name is Nana, which means 7. I don't know if you're supposed to know that yet, but all the administrators have like number names.
Okay. This is the same one we've already seen.
Yes. Because there are more administrators, which you find out shortly, but this is the only one we know so far. And she tells, she basically catches Bully Girl up on like, those girls, they have these magic powers, they killed your friends, I want you to go kill them and collect their sticks. Because this girl is the one, like the girl in the coma, she's like, well, she was doing it for me, but now she's in a coma and shit, so you do it for me, please. So she actually asked the murder girl to go kill people and collect their sticks. The administrator wanted her to do that.
Okay, so the administrator is making more magical girls and has one magical girl going around killing them at the same time.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So she gives Sarina her stick. It's a yo-yo, and if she like throws it at something, she can like cut whatever with it with the string. So she can just make like big gashes in buildings and stuff by yo-yoing. So she actually has a kind of cool stick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's better than mind control panties at any rate.
It's definitely less like. So walking home, the yellow hair girl asks Aya like, why were you being bullied by those girls? Because you need a reason, of course.
Oh yeah. Obviously, it was something you did.
Yeah, and you find out that the bully hated her because Aya would always keep everyone late by sucking at gym. She sucks at everything. She reads too quietly in class. Bleh. And at first, Bully Girl was actually trying to help her out by like making the teacher make someone else read and whatnot. She'd help her out in little ways. But Aya, she never thanked her, and so the other girl hated her so much for that she decided to bully her as extremely as possible. And so Aya's like, it's all my fault because I never could express myself. I never thanked her properly.
Yeah, this really reads like an accurate description of how a bully would operate. At first that they were being compassionate, and then it wasn't returned, so they turned it into an absolute goddamn psychopath.
Yep.
Yeah, reads totes accurate.
So So like Yellow's like, that's not your fault. It's okay. Blah, blah, blah. Wow. It's so, how deep?
Yeah. What a stupid show. What a fucking stupid show.
Oh, yeah. And Aya's like, oh, wow, yellow hair girl, she's such a good friend. She's my first and only friend. It's amazing. Wah, 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 wah. And then you see yellow hair girl get home and she collapses and she's coughing up blood and she's not doing so good. And you see the brother walking down the street and he's thinking about how everyone besides him is scum and he's the best and blah, blah, blah. And he goes to the convenience store and the clerk there is the obsessed fan that we saw watching Idol Girl, and he collapses because he saw a notification on his phone that the Idol Girl has quit. She's quit being an idol. And so the big fan of hers, he's like, oh no, and he passes out. And in the manga, this becomes a whole thing where like the brother takes him to the hospital and then they like get to know each other a bit. But I'm pretty sure we never come back to this scene in the anime. The brother just kind of sees him pass out and he's like, oh, look at this dumb fuck. And then that's it for the two of them knowing who each other is, kind of.
I guess the two things you mentioned that they didn't bother including do feel like they were dead ends that the writer thought he was going to use and then didn't.
Well, the brother has a very important scene with the stalker guy later, but like all the other interactions between them really weren't necessary to set up that scene, so I can see why they cut it out. Like it does lead into something, but it's also unnecessary.
Okay.
So Aya goes to school and yellow hair girl isn't there, and she's like, oh no, why's that? And also bully girl is back, and she's like, I'm back. And there's a new transfer student, and this idol girl, and she's like, hey, it's me. I thought I'd just come to school with you. Hey, we're friends. Hi, Aya. Oh. and of course, all the boys are like, whoa.
Okay.
And idol girl wants to work with Aya to find the person who killed her friend. And I was like, oh, this is really awkward because I know who killed your friend. What I can say. But bully girl is spying on them, and she's like, oh ho, now I understand that situation. Woohoo. So Aya is like, I'm gonna go to my yellow hair friend's house and see how she is. And she goes there and she finds her all collapsed and bloody. So I guess she was just laying there for like the entire day.
Wow.
But she's more or less like she can still talk and everything. It's kind of weird.
That's rough. She needed a life alert.
She needs it. And she also sees what else is in Yatsumura's apartment. So she has a man who's like tied up, standing up, and she's been torturing him for years, I guess, or for a while at least.
Okay.
And it's the guy who killed her parents.
Okay.
But this is just what she does now.
He just tortures. Well, at least I know everyone's crazy. This one's the least crazy so far, I guess.
No, yeah, like, aside from this, she's treated as, like, a completely reasonable, level-headed character. She just has a guy that she has tied up in her house and is torturing all the time. Like you do.
Well, you know, dead parents. Makes you a bit cranky.
What you gonna do? Girls, am I right? And that's the end of that episode.
Okay, cool.
So in episode 5, like it opens by like having some monologue stuff from Yellow Hair Girl, and it's like, I live only for revenge. This is the only thing that gives meaning to my life is getting revenge on this guy. Oh, isn't it tragic or whatever?
I mean, if that's all she lived for, why was she helping this other girl?
Well, see, that's her big emotional thing that it's going to be, because it's like she gave her another reason to live. Isn't it beautiful?
But
besides torturing someone.
Didn't she have to go out of her way to find her in that supply closet? Like, how did she even know that was happening?
I guess she had like a general side quest going of also dealing with the murder girl. And so that's why she contacted Aya, because she thought like, oh, she seems like someone who will become a magical girl. Oh, I can tell she's a magical girl now. We can work together on murder girl. But that wasn't Like, that's just like something she was kind of working on the side. The main thing is the torturing the guy thing.
Right, okay.
That's the most important.
And how long has this been going on?
I'm not sure. I guess ever since she became a magical girl, but we don't know how long that's been.
Right, okay.
So who fucking knows?
Either way, there's torture going on and it's cool and metal, I guess.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So Bully Girl shows up and she's like, wow, yellow hair girl, you look like shit. And I'm going to kill you both. And also I told the idol girl where Murder Girl is. And so she's going to kill her. Fuck you guys. Ha ha ha. And so she reveals her cut yo-yo. And she tries to attack them, but she misses, and it cuts the guy who was being tortured in half. And they try to play it as like this super like yellow hair girl's like, no, my reason for living, no.
That's not a positive reason for living.
It's so dumb. But she's like, I'm the new magical hunter, ha ha ha. So I'm gonna take you out. But then she gets a call from Idol Girl, and Idol Girl's yelling because she can't kill this girl that's in a coma. Why can't she kill her? There's a magic box around her. The magic box has struck again, the cube. Because you find out that Yellow Girl, she used 2 sticks at once. She has one stick that's completely useless if you get it on its own, because it's a stick that lets you use another stick's power in a different place. So, yeah. Like, if you were the girl who just got that, you'd be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
It's like you just got, like, a cable for charging an iPhone, but no iPhone.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So she was using both of those, and she's super dying. She's got all kinds of blood, but she's using it so she had that set up just in case anyone tried to go kill Coma Girl.
Right, okay.
And Aya's trying to shoot Bully Girl with the gun, but she keeps missing, and Bully Girl's using her yo-yo. She's cutting her up, shooting, cutting. But then, so Idol Girl has already left, and so Aya uses the box-making power stick to protect her and Yellow Girl. And it's like supposed to be this big dramatic moment. Like all this is supposed to be like very dramatic and shit.
I'm taking it from your tone, it wasn't that dramatic or cool?
Yeah, because it's like Aya is giving this big speech about how she's going to protect her best friend, blah, 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 and wow, it's amazing, friend. And Sarina's yelling at her like, how dare you kill my friends, you bitch. And it's like, I wonder why she would have. They were just trying to get someone to rape her, really rude of her to kill them.
But also, like, this friend that you're trying to protect, you just found out had a man, and she's been torturing him for however knows, God knows how long. Like,
yeah, but they're friends. But so Aya is yelling at Bully Girl. She's like, "You made my life horrible. Don't you care?" And Bully Girl's like, "I don't care. Fuck you." And the apartment starts collapsing from all the crazy yo-yo cuts. And Aya shoots Sarina finally, or shoots the Bully Girl finally with her teleporty gun, and Bully Girl is sent back to their classroom in school. And she's like, you think this makes us even because you saved me from the collapse? Fuck you, I'm gonna survive. I'm still evil or whatever. Bleh. And then, so the apartment building collapses. And the police show up and they find them under a bunch of rubble, and Aya and Yellow Girl are hugging each other, collapsed but protected by the magic box. And they're like, we don't know why these 2 girls aren't dead. I guess they can't see the box or something.
Yeah, or the box is gone now or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And you see Idol Girl angrily walking down the street. Ooh, I wasn't able to kill her. This sucks.
Wait a minute. The box only stopped magic from getting in and out. Is that implying that the collapsing building was magic?
No, it also physically stops things from getting in and out. It also works on physical things.
Okay.
Yeah, it works on whatever. It's no interference box.
Right, okay.
So the 2 girls are rushed to the hospital and they're defibrillating the Yellow Girl, which I don't know what that would do. Like, she's dying because of overuse of her magic and her organs being all fucked up. I mean, I guess it's a TV thing, but it's like, I doubt the problem is her heart having arrhythmia.
But, yeah, also the doctors probably don't know about magic.
Yeah. But like, there's only, I mean, I know this is a TV thing, but there's only very specific things you can use defibrillation to do anything about.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, TV always use defibrillation for just like
whatever.
It's the same way that like people use CPR to save people who have been drowning or stop breathing, and you do CPR on them, like you do one round of CPR and they just start suddenly breathing again. So that's not what CPR does.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah.
So, and Aya's parents actually show up, and they're actually like really worried about her, and it's like it kind of flips back and forth on like the mom seems nice enough and like she actually cares about Aya, but also like obviously neither of them realize that she's like covered in bruises and stuff all the time and don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, like they've never realized that the brother is abusing her.
Nope. So yeah, I'm always like, what are we supposed like? Are we supposed to think they're sympathetic characters? I don't understand.
That stretches things a bit.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they couldn't know the brother's like abusing and doing awful stuff to her every night.
Oh yeah, it's like they never hear him like kicking her around the room or anything, or notice that, hey, you sure have a bunch of ropes in your room. What's up with those? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So before the end of the episode, we see sickly eye patch girl, who's another magical girl. We're gonna meet a bunch more magical girls soon. But she's dramatically going up to Coma Girl, and she has a cutter, and it's like, oh no! End of the episode.
How many episodes? Hang on, how many episodes are we in at this point?
Next is episode 6.
Oh, okay.
We're moving along at a pretty breezy pace.
Yeah.
So this is when you like episode 6 starts, where you have the second version of the opening where there's like chains over everything, and it shows all the other girls. Where I feel like they should have waited another episode because it's like, oh, remember all these girls you haven't met yet? Oh, it's so dramatic. So you see that Idol Girl is going to Aya's house to like ask like why she betrayed her and all that stuff, and the fan is stalking her. He had like spotted her at some point, and he sees her going into this house, but the only person there is the brother. And he's like, what? My idol love is going out with the boy. It's the worst. Oh no, it's unacceptable. And Idol Girl thinks that the brother is super hot, and she instantly has a huge gross crush on him. So the brother has been like figuring out that like something's up because Aya healed super fast earlier, and he like overheard something about Magical Girl site at some point, and he like went to her computer history, but it was this broken site, and so he thinks that like he's like figuring out that something's up. Ooh, he's a super genius. He's got plans. So he's like, this Idol Girl, there's no way Aya would just know her. Maybe she's one of these Magical Girl things. I can use her. Ha ha ha.
Okay, but what happens to him?
Well, meanwhile, back with the girl that had the cutter in Coma Girl's room. So you see that this girl, she has an eye patch, she has short white hair. I'll probably keep referring to her as Sickly Girl, because she's always acting kind of sickly. And her power is that she cuts herself, because edge... And she drips her blood in a person's mouth, and it heals them. So she actually healed Coma Girl.
Okay.
And as if that wasn't enough stupid character traits for one character, you find out that she gets like really overwhelmed and starts like going kind of nuts, and then she'll take a bunch of pills, and then she'll be okay.
Right. Hang on. Wait a minute. So
sometimes she'll just start like freaking out and like be like breathing all hard, and then she'll take a bunch of pills and she'll be like, I'm cool now.
Okay, hang on. I think I've heard something about this character. Is this did someone try to claim this was like rep for mental health or something?
I'm sure someone did. I'm sure this is all, I mean, I don't need to know about that person. I don't want to know about that person.
I'm sure I've read something before with someone defending Magical Girl's site because it has rep in it.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like she does establish that she cut herself before she was a magical girl. That was just a thing she did because she's crazy.
Like everyone else.
So she heals Murder Girl, and Murder Girl wakes up and she's like, who the hell are you? And Sickly Girl shows her laptop, which has a different administrator on it, which looks like a kind of like fat lady in a no mask, like a lady mask from Japanese plays. And this character is mostly noteworthy for being voiced by Kizuna Ai.
No.
YouTube star Kizuna Ai.
Oh, yeah. I know Kizuna.
Yeah. But she, like, a lot of people were like, who's she going to voice in this show? And then she's just kind of one of the administrators, so a lot of people were disappointed. But this is, like, the only voice acting that she'd done at the time for anime, and it's like, oh, why does it have to be for this dumb shit?
Yeah, that is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah. So she's just like, there's stuff going on. We all want to team up to fight the Tempest or whatever. So those two girls go to the main characters in their hospital room and also heal them because they're still all kind of fucked up from the apartment collapsing.
Okay, so I feel like I need to get some track of who the players are now. So we've got Sickly Girl, who just healed the first murder girl, who was the one who knew about the Tempest. The two others in the hospital.
Yeah, here, wait. I'll start referring to Murder Girl as Pink Girl because she has pink hair.
Okay. And the other two in the hospital are...
The two mains.
The two mains are in the hospital. Okay.
Aya and Yellow Girl.
And the main bully, who's also now a magical girl, is...
somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know where she is right now.
Right, okay.
So Sickly Girl is explaining, like, we actually have a bunch of magical girlfriends, and we all want to fight together. That's the only way to survive the Tempest. And then she, like, refers to, apparently there's someone called the King, and he feeds on negative emotions or something.
Oh, he's a Grim.
Shut up. Grim don't feed on negative emotions, they just eat them. Or no, they don't eat them, they just attack people with negative emotions.
Ah, okay, sorry.
That's a whole other thing. Don't get me thinking about Ruby. I'll think about it forever now. Oh no, now I'm thinking about how they don't make any sense. Oh
no! You were already thinking about Ruby forever.
Always. So, supposedly, if you deliver a stick full of negative energy on the day of the Tempest as an offering, you won't die in the Tempest. But obviously, if you used up all your energy, you already died. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. So it's probably not. It's probably a bunch of bullshit.
Also, if you only needed to deliver one stick, then what was the murder girl collecting as many as possible?
I'm not sure what he told Murder Girl to make her think that collecting a bunch of sticks would help. I think he just told her some other lie.
Okay.
So basically, the admins just really want the girls to use their sticks as much as possible and kill each other or whatever, so they've been making up excuses for why they need to use them.
Right, okay.
So you see the admins and their evil council of evil, and they're talking about how there's girls that know too much. I guess we should kill some of them. Oh, so here's where things start getting kind of weird because
oh, he's where it starts. Okay.
The Sickly Girl is like, our plan, we need to capture an administrator. So that's like what we need to work towards doing so that we can like question them and stuff. But so in the manga, this is where the next thing that happens is a bunch of the girls meet up and try to capture an administrator. But in the anime, they wanted to save a lot of those like adventures for the finale. So like they're going to meet a bunch of girls and then they're going to have a beach episode.
They can't not. They can't not just have a pointless beach episode in one of these shows. It's great.
Yeah, but it's like, it also happened in the manga, but it happened after you like met these girls and like kind of knew who they were and stuff. But in the anime, you meet the girls and then it's just immediately, we're all best friends having a beach episode together. It's really weird. That's slightly later. So, so the girls right now, they don't have their sticks because they were all lost in the apartment collapse. So none of the main girls actually have any powers right now or any abilities or items.
Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of interesting in a stakesy sort of way. They're all vulnerable at the moment.
Yeah. It was also funny since like the other girls are coming to them like, we all need to work together as magical girls, but they don't have any abilities or powers. And it's just like, I guess they just know about it. And that's all they bring to the table.
Yeah. Doesn't Murder Girl have a bunch of spare sticks?
Those were all, they had them in a bag with them, and now they were all lost in the apartment collapse.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough.
So they're digging through the rubble trying to find their sticks, and the main two girls are talking, and so Aya finally asks, like, what was with that guy at your apartment? And Yellow Girl explains that, you know, like, he was this guy that killed her parents, and all she's lived for is blah, blah, but now you've given me a different reason to live, or whatever. And it's pretty gay. Because so they are pretty gay in the anime. In the manga, they end up kissing and going on a date, and it's actually pretty explicit. It still, like, feels pretty explicit in the anime.
Okay.
And that's cool. But then, spoilers for later in the manga, apparently it turns out they're secretly twins.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, the one nice thing, of course you had to take it away. But also, I don't know if that's him taking away or if that's him thinking it's hotter if they're twins.
Yeah, if it's an incest thing, yeah.
But also, it doesn't make any fucking sense. They look completely different. and so it's like, that was definitely, you didn't have that planned. I don't know why you decided to do that.
They're like fraternal twins, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't buy it, though.
I mean, yeah, we talked about this in the Demon Girl Next Door podcast, but the thing about girls being gay in shonen comics is more for titillation than, and they don't generally cross the line into, like, actually explicitly being gay, but they do in this, which is kind of...
Yeah, that's why it's like a bummer that he had to ruin even that, because like, as stupid as the manga was, like, when I read the part where they, like, actually went on a kind of final date and kissed, it was like, oh, that's nice. Though it's really funny because in the manga a lot of times he uses photos for backgrounds. I guess because he doesn't, like, they can't afford assistants to draw backgrounds for him. And so there's, like, all this, like, dramatic date stuff happening, and there's just, like, blurry-ass, like, people, like, real-ass people in the background, and it's really funny.
They're going on a date inside of Control-Alt-Delete.
Oh, yes, it's very webcomi. So since Yellow Girl's apartment is destroyed, they go back to Aya's house and ask if she can stay there with them. And so it's like, oh, yay, now I have a girl living with me. My brother can't abuse me. Isn't that nice? Wow, isn't that nice?
So she hasn't told anyone about the abuse then, I guess?
No.
Yeah.
I think Yellow Girl must have guessed at some point. But yeah, she hasn't, like, come out about it to anyone.
But they've also, like, you would think that one of the girls, if they found out that was happening, would do something about the brother, considering they're all nuts and apparently quite willing to kill people.
Yeah, I guess they don't know. I guess nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's her little secret. So, at the end of this episode, you see something that I hadn't actually seen in the manga, and I had to ask. Apparently this shows up way later, but there's, like, a girl who's, like, a magical floating white-haired girl, and she's, like, in a big electric magical ball, and there's a bunch of dead bodies all around, and it's like, ooh, who's this mysterious white-haired girl? I don't know, she'll be for another season that we'll never make. So that's important.
Good to know.
Yes. So, episode 7, we cut back to when they were having the meeting between the four of them in the hospital room, and Sickly Girl explains that, like, her healing can't heal the damage that they do by using their powers, and there's no way any of them are going to live to, like, adulthood. So just so you know, it's good.
Okay, cool. They have to find some way to make it so it sucks being a magical girl, and you don't get to live a normal life.
I mean, it already sucked quite a bit, anyway.
No, it did, but, like, I was thinking with the thing about how, like, you could technically have walked away, but unlike, say, in Madoka, where you're now a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess not. Nah, okay. Has to be suffering.
Yes. I mean, fucking, everything is suffering. It's like, again, even if you weren't a magical girl, you'd be living in this ridiculous cartoon people abusing you situation because everybody does and is in this show. So, whatever. It seems like a wash.
Yeah, no, fair. Okay.
So the two main girls are lying in bed together, just thinking about how they'll never grow old, and it's, like, kind of sweet because it's like they're hugging each other, like, trying to comfort each other.
Okay.
And so now it's time to cut to the other girls that we're going to meet shortly. So we see, like, little flashes of them. And so these girls are a real mixed bag. So So the first girl we see is like a Yakuza girl. She's like in a fancy old Japanese house with a lot of servants. She's got a katana. She's all right. She's kind of cool. She's got long black hair. She's just basically like that character trope. She's fine. The next girl has Ojo Sama curls like Undine in my comic. And she kind of like in the manga, I thought that she looked like Undine and Kokoro's kid if they had one, because she has like little like hearts everywhere, and she like her face kind of looks like Undine, and she has the curls. But
oh no, she's in this comic. Oh no.
Yeah, so she's Ojo Sama rich girl, and she has a broom. Her magical item is a broom that can fly fast. And she has a butler that's a bald, old, small guy that she abuses with it.
Cool.
Not going to talk about that anymore. That's a thing that happens.
but it doesn't tie into anything.
I mean, it's a big joke that they do every once in a while, is that she sexually abuses the butler with the broom. So here's a girl I stan. And this is an important girl to talk about because this is the trans girl.
Oh, okay.
So we see her getting bullied at school, of course.
Of
and
course.
And everyone's calling her gross, cross-dresser, all that stuff. But this girl is actually trans. Like she wants to use the girls' bathroom. She like always dresses in girls' clothes, and she in the manga apparently in the manga there is like somehow they do some kind of time fuckery where they all get to have better lives. So I guess there's actually a happy ending for some people. I don't know if they undo that later, but you see like a scene where she's asking her mom, she's like, I want to be a girl. And she like comes out and things go better for her. But so her power, you find out, is that she has telepathy and can also control people's minds and also just like kind of talk to other people through their minds. And obviously there's a bunch of like other people who are transphobic towards her, and it's all awful, but she's actually awesome and she deserves better than to be in this comic or this show.
So she goes on the arc?
Yes, she will come on my Magical Girl arc. And she's actually friends with Sickly Girl, and they go to the same school. And so after she's like bullied by these guys, the Sickly Girl's like, why didn't you use your stick on them? And she's like, don't worry, I'll wait till they're adults and then I'll fuck their lives up. And it's like, obviously that's you being kind of crazy like everyone in this comic, but you know what? Fair. I stand.
I mean, obviously it sucks that he's put a trans character in there just to have them be like a bullying victim.
Yeah.
But at the same time, props for actually putting like an explicitly trans character in the comic, I guess.
No, yeah, and it's like, it implies, like, later when the girls are talking about it, they're like, what, did you get tricked about, or, I mean, did the admins not know you're actually a boy? And the trans character's like, fucking whatever. But it implies that the admins are kind of, like, trans positive. They're not discriminatory.
Wow, okay. Not so bad.
It's so cool. Thanks, admins. You're very progressive with your horrible murdering. It's a real mixed bag.
Okay,
so we'll deal with those girls later, all those weirdos. So the main characters are at school, and Idol Girl wants to talk to them, and she's like, "What the fuck? I wanted to kill Rina, and you made it impossible for me." And so she agrees to help them out with this whole plan to capture an admin and stuff if they let her kill the murder girl at the end of it. And they're like, we don't know about that. We don't know what we're going to do about this. We need to get those panties.
I was going to say, why isn't this girl just mind controlling the magical girls to make them do what they want?
I think she's supposed to be kind of like an actual friend.
Right.
I don't know. The way her character is treated is very weird. In terms of like, are we just supposed to think she's a crazy bitch? Are we supposed to be sympathetic to her? I don't know.
Why can't she just use the mind control? Now that Pink Girl is up and walking about, why can't she use the mind control panties to make her walk in front of a train?
Well, she doesn't know where she is.
Oh, okay.
But very conveniently, they're back in class. Hey, there's a new transfer student. It's Pink Girl.
Okay. All right. From this point, why can't she do the thing with the train?
Well, see, this is actually kind of funny because Pink Girl doesn't know anything about Idol Girl or this whole situation with her. So she just comes in and she's like, hey, it's me. And Idol Girl immediately stands up and is like, go fucking kill yourself. But like until she's like right before she's able to finish saying that sentence, they like cover her mouth real quick. The yellow girl does. And then she's like covering her mouth and holding her on the ground, and everyone in the class is just like, "What's up with this? What's happening?" and Yellow Girl's like, "Do it now, we have to." And so Aya steals her underwear. It's in the middle of class.
Okay.
And Yellow Girl grabs the underwear and runs away with them. And Aya and the Idol Girl are sent to the principal's office. So that all happened.
I like that they still go to school. Why do they go to school?
I don't know. It just feels like they have to do that because that's like a typical magical girl thing. But yeah, you'd think it's like, with all this shit going on, why would you still just go to school?
Because now the fact that you've been sent to the principal's office is a problem. Like,
yeah.
Why? Okay, you've been sent. Why go? Why not just say, you know what?
Just leave. I mean, at least Yellow Girl, that's what she did. She just fucked off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what you would do. Yeah. So anyways, Aya and the Idol Girl are standing outside of the principal's office, and she's like, look, we still want to work together. And Idol Girl's like, I'm so fucking pissed, I fucking hate you. But she still agrees to go with them to the meeting with all the other magical girls, and she's like, fucking whatever.
What is she gonna... She hasn't got her panties anymore. What's she gonna do?
Well, again, none of them have their powers. Like, the panties are the only magical item these four girls have between the four of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So, fucking whatever. So they go to the park to meet these other magical girls. So the gangster girl shows up with her katana, and it can cut anything. Like, it like hardens anything so that she can cut it. So like she cuts some water, and then they're like hard and split in half and whatever. It cut good. And Purple Girl shows up with her flying broom. And then the another girl arrives that we haven't seen before, she's basically just like has generalized superhero powers. She can like go really fast and is really strong. And she's like a gyaru. Do you know what that is?
No.
Like a gal. Like she likes fashion and stuff, and she's kind of like whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like kind of like delinquenty, but in like a kind of like girly way.
Okay.
She's like that kind of character. She's always like got a lollipop or something.
Oh, okay.
She's got like big boobs and is kind of like more mature looking or whatever, but she's like, I do what I want.
Okay, so kind of like a delinquent valley girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's okay. So she just seems kind of cool. But she's all strong and stuff. And so the trans girl arrives. Her name's Suirenji, which I wish it was an easier thing to remember to say.
Suirenji.
Yeah, Suirenji. And she explains that she has her telepathy powers. And everyone's all transphobic towards her, and it sucks.
Okay, so I guess that kind of sucks. If you just like having the trans character in here, but only so everyone can be transphobic at them.
But it's funny because like in this scene they are, but then that stops. It's like at first they are, but then like eventually like they're all just hanging out being friends, and then nobody's shitty about it again. It's like they just had to get that out of the way or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
But they're like, well, we all need to work together, but none of you have your fucking powers, so we need to get your sticks back. But none of them know where their sticks are or what happened to them.
I mean, they're presumably just somewhere in the rubble, right?
But they aren't, because we see Bully Girl, and she has all the sticks.
Ah. How did she do that?
She went and got him from the rubble. She just got there before they did.
I was going to say, why didn't they prioritize this? It seems like it's something that should have been important to get done as soon as possible.
Yeah, because it's also like they were in the hospital for a while, so they couldn't go get their sticks while they were like, you know, like in bed. So I guess during that time she had plenty of time to go get them since she had just been teleported away.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, but it is funny that they keep just assuming their sticks will just still be there somewhere. murder girl, pink girl, also goes to live at Aya's house. And is like, whoa, we sure are getting a lot of rando girls up in here. And Aya and the yellow girl are bathing together, like that's just a normal thing you do.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, that's very normal.
Yeah. And Aya is coming out of the bath, and she's just so happy to be hanging out with these good friends, and especially Yellow Girl. She really likes her. But then she gets a call from Telepathy Girl and Sickly Girl, and they say something to her, and it makes her really sad and cry. And it's like, oh no.
What's happened?
So episode 8 starts with the stalker fanboy of the idol girl, and he's vowing to kill the brother guy because her innocence has been ruined by dating this man.
Yeah, do it. Gun buddy.
Yeah, good luck, stalker fanboy.
Not a good reason, but yeah, I'm happy for him to die. That's fine.
Yeah, anyways, meanwhile, beach episode.
I can't believe that in this fucking anime they're doing it. In Yuki Unira, it made sense because they were pretending to do like the slice of life thing. Well, not make sense, but like the back and forth, it fit within half of the tone of that show. A beach episode doesn't seem to fit in the tone of this show.
It kind of makes sense in the manga because, so you'll find out that what they called Aya about is that they think the yellow girl only has a few more days left to live, and they thought that she should know that. And so Yellow Girl had told Aya at some point that she wanted to go to the beach together. And so this is like a kind of nice thing that they all wanted to do for Yellow Girl before she dies.
Right, okay.
But also, again, these characters, we just met them. and they were like, we all need to work together to take down the admins. Anyways, let's all go to the beach. But yeah, again, in the manga, there was actually like the admins actually tried to come and kill some of them for knowing too much and everything, but they got out of it and stuff, so they all bonded a bit. So they're all just playing at the beach together, and the idol girl and the pink girl are just like, you know, like, haha, I hate you, haha, we're shooting water guns at each other, but it's like, you literally wanted to kill her. It's so weird.
That is kind of funny.
But then it's like, oh, look at all these cute other little shenanigans also with these other girls that we don't know them.
Yeah, it doesn't take if we, yeah.
So while everyone else is having fun, to the telepathic girl and the sickly girl, so they hang out together a lot in general, and they're off to the side hanging out, but telepathy girl, her forehead's bleeding because that's where she bleeds from whenever she uses her powers. And she says that she sensed another girl that she had a connection to died, and a bunch of girls that she has connections to are dying, and so she realized that they're probably being killed off. So you find out that Aya organized this trip, and there's this whole like, what do you call it when like when you're in seats like and there's a big parachute, but you're like being dragged behind a boat?
Oh,
parasailing?
Parasailing, yeah, I think that's parasailing.
So her and Yellow Girl go on a romantic parasailing date.
It's not really romantic.
Yeah, like it's super quiet, and they're having this like very heartfelt discussion, and it's like, I don't think that's how it would be.
No, it's really loud and very exciting. It's not like, yeah.
Yeah, it's very slow and romantic. So Aya's thinking about how she was told that Yellow Girl's gonna die soon. And so they pinky promised together all dramatically that they'll come back here to the beach someday. Oh, their friendship and or love is so strong.
Mm.
And they're all back in the locker room getting changed, and Yellow's like, oh no, the idol girl, her panties are gone. I had them in my locker, but they're gone now.
What happened?
The brother took them. So you find out that the idol girl told the brother all about it and he's like, I'll help you get them back. Where do you think they'll be or whatever? But now he just has them.
Okay.
And so the brother's walking down the beach and the stalker guy shows up to kill him with a knife.
Mm.
But the brother the brother says, sit, and the guy sits, and the brother dramatically reveals that he's wearing the panties.
He dramatically reveals he's wearing the panties.
It's one of those, like, so in the manga and kind of in the anime, it's like a giant splash image where he, like, drops his pants, and it's all like, dun, 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 I'm wearing the panties, and he's got, like, a giant bulge, and it's like, obviously, like, this has to be intended to look funny, but also dramatic, but also gross, but also, like it's so, like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, okay.
And this scene goes just on, and it's gross, and he's talking to the guy, and he's like, this idol you love, I'm wearing her, and it's all gross, and I hate it.
Yeah.
And then he tells the guy to go into the water and kill himself, and he does.
Okay. So that's done.
That happens.
Okay, cool.
Oh, but Aya she sees her brother. She sees this happen, and so she's walking away, but then she looks back, and the brother is looking at her with a super creepy pasta face, and it's like, great.
Cool, yeah.
Great.
Rad. 6. That's what this is, yeah, fun show.
Yep. So this, and I guess like this was also kind of a dramatic reveal of like literally anyone can use these sticks.
Right.
Like if they get them. But it's funny because then later like the admins are all talking together in their creepy council, and they're like, so but we need the girls to be using the sticks, so we have to get this away from this guy. But again, that means that they're trans inclusive. They don't see it as a problem that Sweet Renji has her stick.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's such a weird, like, aspect of this otherwise, like, you know, super fucked up, weird franchise.
Yeah. I mean, I guess is the idea that, like, thinking that trans girls are girls is bad? Is that the suggestion?
No, I don't think so.
Fucking hope not.
'Cause again, later it's, like, positive that she wants to... It almost seems like this weird-ass mangaka... I guess he's woke, after all.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's absolutely not. It's just an interesting aspect of this fucking weird thing.
Yeah, it's very yeah, okay.
What you gonna do?
What a fucking strange show.
So the girls are all riding together on a bus, riding home, and Telepathy Girl is actually reading everyone's mind, which I don't know if that's supposed to be like a bad thing, but like she always does it altruistically, and she always like she never does it in like a creepy way, because she's like, oh no, so Aya knows that it's her brother who took the panties, and this idol girl also thinks it's him, but thinks he did it for her, and oh no, I want to like resolve this situation in the way that doesn't get everyone killing each other. So she's always kind of the one who's like trying to take care of business, which I respect.
I mean, I guess like she's actually like focused on what they're trying to do, which is good.
Yeah, and she knows that fucking everyone here is crazy. So she's just trying to like deal with things in the most amicable way possible.
So hang on. When you said that everyone other than the main girl is crazy, trans girl's not crazy either?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like trans girl knows that everyone's crazy, so it's almost like she's reading their minds just as like, what else, like I have to.
Yeah.
Like one of these girls stole this horrible super powerful item. Okay, now I know who it is, I know who did it. Okay, I need to take care of this situation because they're all gonna start going crazy at each other if they find out.
So there's at least 2 characters who aren't insane.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like the Yakuza girl is also fine, and the gal girl, the Valley girl is also fine, generally.
Okay.
It's like the sickly girl is kind of fine, except that, you know, like the stupid, like constantly popping hundreds of pills thing. But in terms of like her actual actions and stuff, I guess she's okay.
Yeah.
The B team is actually like, in some ways, more likable than the main team.
Do the B team make it? Or are they all they're not going to make it?
You'll see.
Okay.
So the Yakuza girl invites a lot of them to stay at her fancy house because it's safer while they're looking into what happened with the panties. And you see the brother and idol girl at her apartment, And she's like, "Oh, you got the panties back for me. Thank you. Ha ha ha." And then he's like, "No, I have them for myself." And he's about to make her kill herself.
What? Oh, okay. He doesn't care about her. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's like, "Well, you're a loose end, so kill yourself." And of course she's all like, "No, I can't believe I was betrayed like this." Meh, meh, meh. And the super strong girl, the valley girl, shows up, and she just like punches him all crazy in the face, and it's pretty good. And you find out that she's being mind controlled by Psychic Girl, because her plan was just to have her go grab him. Nobody else needs to know about it. Just get it done.
Right. Except wouldn't Valley Girl know about it then?
Valley Girl doesn't seem to know what happens while she's being mind controlled, and it's funny because like you'd think that it would be played like that was a creepy bad thing that trans girl did, but it isn't. Like it seems like Valley Girl's kind of fine with it being mind controlled.
Right.
It's a weird aspect of it. Like it's like never treated like she did a bad thing. It just seems like she's trying to take care of all this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, like she's doing her best in a bad situation or something.
Yeah, with all these fucking losers. So brother can tell that mind control girl is controlling her, and even though she punched him super crazy, he's still okay. And so she's about to go finish him off, but then suddenly Idol Girl is choking her from behind, and apparently he had told her something. It's funny because so we saw him before they went to the apartment together whisper in Idol Girl's ear, and apparently what he had whispered was "protect me with your life" as like a mind control thing, but she didn't think that was weird because then she just like goes to the apartment with him, and it's like a dramatic reveal later that he whispered that order to her, but it's like, did you not think anything of that? Stupid. So he uses his mind control powers now on the Valley Girl, and he's like, "Go back to who's the one who's controlling you and kill her." And so she starts running super fast, and so it cuts back to Mind Control Girl, and she's with Sickly Girl, and she's like, "Oh fuck, she's coming! Oh lord, she coming!" And so the strong girl runs in and stabs her in the heart with her hand.
Right.
But she's not gonna die, so they don't kill her.
Hang on. How is she not going to die from that?
Well, she stabbed like pretty fucking clean through the torso, but so Valley Girl, I guess, because she thought that she'd succeeded in killing her, kind of wakes up, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And Broom Girl shows up and flies them over to where all the rest of the girls are hanging out in the Yakuza girl's house, and they're like, "She's dying. We gotta heal her." So I guess you don't die that fast from a giant arm going straight through your chest. It's fine.
Okay. Cool.
So Sickly Girl is cutting herself and dripping her blood into her mouth, but it's not enough. And so Aya takes the cutter and she's like, "This is my fault too. I'll also give her my blood." And I guess it's supposed to be like a nice dramatic thing or whatever. She's trying to make up for it or fucking whatever.
Yeah. It's not really her fault though, is it? I mean,
well, I think somehow she knows that it's the brother who sent the girl back to kill her. So if she had told everyone, maybe that wouldn't have happened because she knew it was her brother.
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, she really should have told them. It's like they make it sound like she didn't tell them because it's her brother, but also like obviously he's like super abusive. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, tell someone about the brother. It's fine. Like.
So Telepathy Girl wakes up and she's like still feeling like shit, still laying on the ground, but I'm not dead. And then the brother arrives, and he tells everyone to sit, and everyone they sit down and they can't move except Telepathy Girl. She's just laying on the ground because she physically can't. And he's here with Idol Girl, who's like, "I will do whatever he says. Bye, I'm being mind controlled."
Mm-hmm.
And there's a really fucking gross thing where he goes and sees that Aya has the magical healing stick, and he like drinks her blood from her hand, and the way that it's shot and everything is really fucking gross.
Okay.
And he's like, I feel so much better now. I'm all healed from being punched out by Super Strong Girl. And he tells Idol Girl to go gather all the other sticks. And so she's like, "Yes, I will do that." And so she's going and getting everyone's sticks. But then when she gets to Telepathy Girl is able to override the mind control, and she's talking to her telepathically, and she's like, or only you can stop him. You have to save us, Idol Girl. You have to do it. And she's like, you have to stay calm. You can't, show your hand. You can't show that you're no longer being mind controlled. But Idol Girl is just so angry, and so she runs up to him. She's like, I'm gonna kill you. And then he had been holding the katana, and so he cuts her down the middle.
Right.
This is a good job, Idol Girl. And then they have a dramatic flashback, like this is Magical Girl Raising Projects. It's like, oh, she died. It's time to have a flashback about her character flaw. And so she had anger problems or whatever. Her family, they had problems. I don't care. It's more horrible things that happened to her when she was young. Don't give a fuck. But somehow she survived being cut in half. Well, she just has like a giant bloody thing down her, but she manages to live long enough to break a bottle and stab the brother in the throat with it.
Right. Okay.
And so that's her big final stand. Very dramatic, very proud of you, Idol Girl, fuck you. And she dies. And they're like, no.
It's amazing how much not caring about characters means that all of this sort of shit just doesn't matter, and I don't care. You know what I mean?
Like they really try to play her death up for drama, and the characters feel really shitty about it, and it's very dramatic, and it's like, she was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck.
I like how, like, the brother coming in and mind controlling them. Oh, that's creepy and spooky. But her just having a bunch of people she enslaved in her house, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, this is funny.
Yeah. Like, how are we meant to take this? Like,
again, yeah, it's just like when he dramatically reveals when he's wearing the panties, it's just like, I don't think he even cares. I don't think there's even an intent of how you're supposed to take this. Yeah. It's just like, this will keep you reading. And that's literally the only goal.
Yeah.
Please continue to look at these images. You can't look away because it's crazy. Whatever.
So yeah, this is bad. It's a bad show, bad comic.
Yeah.
Bad, yeah.
But hey, at least brother, he's got stabbed in the throat with a bottle, so that's cool.
Cool.
And so he's like dramatically trying to crawl towards Aya to get the cutter, but he can't speak because his throat's all cut up, so he can't mind control them. And he's like, I'm gonna get there, and they're like, no, we still can't move. And then an invisible person steps on his arm, and there's a smoke bomb, and everyone whites out. And when they wake back up, he's gone.
Right.
But Niji means the Idol Girl, she's dead, and everyone's so sad. They're like, no, it's so tragic. It's the worst. Fucking whatever.
It does not matter.
So episode 10. So Aya's all dramatically crying over her body, and then the opening plays, but the opening is sung by the administrator. And the administrator has like a kind of like, it sounds like a creepy guy voice, almost like I'm trying to figure out what it would sound like if it was in English. It'd be like, oh, how unfortunate, oh, how unfortunate. So they sing the opening song like that.
Right.
And it's like, am I a joke to you? Like, that just felt like the perfect, like, summation of the tone of this thing. It's just like, I have no idea what you're trying to make me feel right now.
just as long as it's spoopy and, like...
Yeah, is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be creepy? Is it supposed to be a little bit of both? I don't know. It's very mysterious. So that happens.
What is there to say about the mindset of the person making this? Like... Are they just like
forever teen?
Yeah,
21.
Are they? Is it just like an immaturity, or is it they're just like they're desperately making it up as they go along? Like, do they just think it's funny? Like, because I suppose there are some people who would look at this and go, "This is hilariously like dark and stupid."
Yeah, and like in a way, like it kind of is. Like sometimes it is. Yeah. Like this administrator singing, it's like, that's kind of funny. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny though. I don't know. I don't understand.
This is one of these reasons, like, I got friends who are really into horror films, and they've never really been my thing. But like, there is something about like, there are a lot of horror films that are like sort of deliberately stupid, but that's kind of the fun.
Krampus or whatever.
Yeah, and is that this?
It's probably like going for a similar like brain chemical reaction or whatever. It's in that vein, that thought vein.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure those movies a lot of the same. Where it's like, am I supposed to be scared right now, or am I supposed to be laughing? And the answer is like, whichever, man.
Yeah, it's trying to ride this line. So, okay.
Who fucking knows?
Anyway,
so Yellow Girl and Pink Girl are back at school, and they're talking about how Aya hasn't come to school because things have been pretty rough for her. Understandable, I guess. It's been a rough couple of days.
Yeah, that's a fair way. That's a way to put it.
And the brother's missing now, and they're like, "Who saved us?" It's very mysterious. And there's a character that we've actually seen a couple times who's a detective guy, and we saw him at the rubble of the apartment, and we saw him at the scene of where that stalker guy killed himself, and he's been like on the case, and he's very much like, please remember him because he has teal hair and it's in a ridiculous haircut that like should be worn by an idol guy and not a detective guy, so he's clearly a character.
He's very important, please keep him in mind.
Yeah, and I'm just going to real quick go through him because it doesn't tie into the rest of what happens here, and it's awful. So he shows up to Aya's parents' house and is talking to them, and they're like, what happened to our precious son? Where could he be? And he's like, oh, we'll investigate it. And you find out that he's the one who was invisible, and he has the brother in a sex dungeon now.
Okay.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, cool.
And he also has like a fuck ton of magical girl sticks that are all like over on the wall, and he's been collecting them for some reason, and I don't know why.
So is he in the manga?
Yes.
Do we find out more about what happens to him?
So here's the thing. In the manga, and I found out apparently it was because it like switched what magazine was running it, but at some point in the manga, shortly after like all the events that the show covers, they switched to two completely different girls, and like I think we come back to the main characters at some point, but they just like for a long time they're just doing this other separate thing, and that's when I stopped reading. So I never kept reading back to where the other girls show back up and we find out what the fuck happened with them.
Okay.
So fucking whatever.
Right. Okay. All right.
I finally got tired. I'd seen the train wreck for long enough.
Yeah. It had been on fire for a very long time.
Yeah. And I was walking away. So that's basically all we get with him is like near, I think the last episode you see that he has the brother and it's like fucking you, whatever.
Yeah.
So
the exhaustion.
Yeah.
It's very real.
So while he's talking to the parents, Aya dramatically runs out of her house, and she's saying like, I won't let anyone else die. I'm going to take care of this shit. And so she's back at the rubble looking for the sticks again.
Okay.
Not quite giving up.
Even though we know that's pointless, right?
Well, they don't know that someone else took the sticks.
But we know that, so we know what she's doing right now is a waste of time.
Yeah, but she has to be there because Bully Girl shows up. And she's in a very dramatic poncho. And it's really funny because I don't know why she has to run around with a poncho. I just to show that she's dramatic. And she's like, so you really are resolved. I guess we can work together now. Isn't that great that those two can come together?
Oh, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So got to the Idol Girls memorial service. And it's very dramatic. There's fans outside. They're all crying. All the girls are like leaving flowers on her grave and you see her. It's like an open wake and she's smiling all peacefully. Isn't this dramatic? But also, so while she was an idol, she was selling something. And I don't know how this even related to her image or whatever. But she was like, this is my iconic thing I'm selling. It's 2 cherries and they look like a butt. and it's like every once in a while you would see it as like a joke thing that's like this is her merchandise is like a butt cherry,
right?
But then she has like this big flower arrangement in front of her casket that looks like the cherry.
She has a butt cherry flower arrangement.
Who did this? Why did you do this?
Superb.
Fucking thing. But so Aya dramatically shows up to the other girls and they're like, Aya, where have you been? And she has her gun again and she's like, we need to get the fuck out of here. And she shoots her gun at them and they all teleport. And you find out that right after they teleported, there was a big explosion there because the administrator was planning to kill them. And so she had teleported everyone out right before they were going to die.
Right. How did she know that?
In the show, the bully girl conveniently told her, like, none of the administrator had mentioned to her, like, if any of them survive, you help finish them off. But now, since bully girl has changed sides, she warned them about the plan.
Right. Okay, I see. Right.
In the manga, the administrator actually does successfully kill all of them, but then the time rewind girl shows up because she's working with bully girl. And so she rewinds time and saves them all.
Okay, fair enough.
So this was a decent way for the anime to kind of work out an excuse for why they were able to escape it.
Mm.
So the admin thinks that they're dead now, but they're not. And Aya is like, I don't want you all to get hurt and die anymore and use up your lifespan with your sticks. Give all your sticks to me and I'll take care of everything. And it's funny because she points her gun at them like she's threatening to shoot them if they don't, but it's like, but they'll just teleport. It's fine.
Yeah, well, I suppose she can teleport them somewhere dangerous, I guess.
Yeah, but she's not gonna. Well,
yeah, no, true.
But then they have like a big dramatic talk about, no, we all have to work together, blah, blah, blah. It's bleh.
Mm.
And Bully Girl comes out and they're all like, oh, half of us hate each other, but we all have to work together. We have to do something about these administrators. So now I guess we'll get back to that idea about capturing an administrator that we brought up several episodes ago and then took a beach vacation. So they've figured out that there's a girl who they think is going to be given a stick because she was tweeting a bunch, but then her tweets got deleted mysteriously. And the tweets were like, it came, and whatever. There's a convoluted excuse for why they know who's going to get the next magical girl stick.
Oh, okay.
So their idea is to wait at her, is to stalk out both outside her house, because some girls get their stick at their house, and at her locker, because some girls get their stick at their locker.
Right.
And wait for an admin to show up and hopefully capture them. And the administrator shows up at the locker. And so that's where Yellow Girl, Aya, and Pink Girl are. So the main girls are conveniently at the place where the admin actually shows up.
Does the admin look like they look like on screen, on the website, or are they?
Yeah, so they all have that like kind of weird creepypasta rendering.
Yeah, right.
So the admins are actually kind of interesting looking. Like this one has like a middle school boy uniform and a hyotoko mask, which is like, do you know that Japanese mask where it looks like a silly guy going off to the side with like a round mouth?
I don't think I do, no.
Wait, here, I'll show you, and you all can Google hyotoko mask and learn a thing.
Well, if you're watching the YouTube version, then you'll see it on screen, I guess.
Yeah, but if you're listening to the podcast version, you're very valid.
Oh, also valid, yeah.
You ever seen this?
I've never seen that before. Wow.
Oh, it's something that I used to see all the time, and I never knew like what the fuck it was called, and I would try to Google it, like guy making old face silly man mask Japanese. But it's like this stock character in Japanese plays that's like a buffoon, and his mouth is like that because he blows fire or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of in it. So the admin looks like that. So they actually look pretty like boyish, but I think that's to make it more of a reveal when there's a thing that's revealed.
Right. Okay.
So the admin is going to put. They've got a stick that they're gonna put in the locker, and then Pink Girl attacks with her hammer, and she's like, "Here I come!" And she knocks a leg off, but the admin's still okay. And the other girls are like flying around. They're like, we need to go get to them since they're there and not at the house. But then, at some point they get attacked by Kizuna Ai.
She's here again.
Yes, who's like a big lady with a katana, and she attacks them. But so these girls are fighting, the other girls are fighting. Yellow and Aya get stuck under some rubble, and Yellow Girl goes to use her phone. She's like, "I need to stop time," but Aya's like, "No, you can't. You'll die." Well, they're gonna die anyway. So it seems kind of silly, but the mask guy spots them. They're gonna come attack. And Rena, the pink girl, uses one of her other sticks that's like a wand that electrocutes things. And she's like, I've got so many fucking sticks you don't even know. and that gives enough time for Aya to shoot her teleporty gun. And it teleports the administrator to the school roof. And that's where Bully Girl is. And she yo-yos them to death.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, gotcha. So...
Wait, hang on. Wasn't the plan to capture them?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because didn't anyone want to know about the Tempest and shit?
Yeah, I guess it was kind of like a sunk cost thing. Like, they're way stronger than we thought. They're like super strong and super fast. Just kill it.
Yeah, okay.
Kill it. So the rest of them teleport up there to the top of the roof, or like the main three girls, and they're all around the body, but oh no, it's a girl. It's a dead girl's body now.
Oh.
Because the thing is that, see, once a magical girl uses up too much of her magic, she becomes the monster.
Oh, of course, because it's because
wink, 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 wink.
Because it's Madoka. Okay.
And also, they're collecting despair energy.
Oh, okay. So just straight up, they're just doing it. All right.
Wink, 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 wink. Yeah, that's the only aspect of this that really feels like they were ripping off Madoka potentially, because it's like, hey, isn't that a coincidence?
Okay.
So
we don't know. Okay, so we don't really know why the administrators are evil and shit. They need the despair energy to live.
Yeah, we just know that they're like collecting negative energy to create the Tempest, and that magical floating white-haired girl we saw once is involved somehow. I think the idea is... Oh, we learn a little more about it later, but it's still pretty vague.
Okay.
But anyways, the different characters are running around. Kizuna is fighting the Katana girl and whatever. And then... and Nana, the admin that we've know about, the little girl administrator, she shows up and she finger guns the bully girl, like with a bunch of holes. Because I do like that that's how she attacks. She just makes finger guns, and then you just like get shot with so many holes, and so that's actually kind of like creepy and kind of OP.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah. So Yellow Girl dramatically raises her phone like she's gonna stop time, and then Nana just shoots it and destroys it. And it's like, good job, Yellow Girl. Stupid.
Does she need to raise it up to stop time, or just being dramatic?
No. Well, they make it seem like it was part of a trap, because she has like one of her hands in her other pocket, and you see the bully girl's yo-yo on the ground, and then Yellow Girl dramatically attacks with the yo-yo at some point. Oh, I guess she used the stick that uses the power of a stick from a different place.
Ah, okay.
And or something. It's not very well blocked, but somehow she yo-yos the administrator, but it still doesn't kill the administrator. And so Nana's like, haha, you lose. And shoots Yellow Girl full of holes, and she dies. But so Yellow Girl, meanwhile, had also used the magical box to protect everyone so that none of them could be killed while she's being killed by the administrator. And somehow... so I guess before she would have died of all the holes, it uses the rest of her symbol up. And there's actually some pretty well-animated, like, Aya grasping at her from, like, the other side of the box, like, trying to get to her, and Yellow Girl's like, please live strongly. I love you. Thank you.
Aww.
Like she does say Daisuke. And And it's like, oh, isn't it so sad? But then Yellow Girl wakes up in the administrators council meeting room, and they're like, congratulations, you're the new administrator, Yellow Girl, ha.
Ah, of course.
Dun dun dun.
But does she look like an administrator now, or
Not yet. She's just like decolored.
Oh, okay.
Because all the administrators are always in black and white.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, I don't know if like later they would give her a funny mask to wear or something. I don't know how all that works. Because like when they kill the administrators, the parts of their bodies that were cut off, what you see inside is like digital. But I don't know if they become cyber people or something. I don't know what's up with all that.
Yeah, like if they don't actually exist in this world, and those were just projections or something. But I guess they do dump a corpse out there when they're done.
Yeah, because like later in the manga, they're like keeping that one girl's corpse like in a freezer. So like it's still like a normal like physical thing that you can like look at and be like, what the fuck's up with this thing? I don't know if they're supposed to be like machine people now. I don't know. Just a normal thing.
Yeah. Really is a lot of random. You know, Oscar was sort of straightforward compared to this. In a funny way.
But that's why, like, I feel like if I had to pick a most miserable post-Madoka property, it would be Asuka. Because, like, at least sometimes this one is kind of interesting and funny, even if it's fucking horrible.
Oh yeah, no, Oscar's much more boring. Like, yeah, but it was sort of easier to follow, and you could sort of see what they were doing. Whereas this is, I don't know, is he just improvising? Is he nuts? What is?
Oh, it's defo improvising. But now, because it's the final episode, so they have to, like, kind of, you know, like, pull a little something out of their ass to give a more decent ending to this arc.
Mm.
So this episode, I'd say for what it is, it's actually kind of well handled. Like, I think they did about as good as they could to try to give you a decent ending for this season show. So you see Nana, the administrator, talking to Yellow Girl in this, like, void, and it's like, the king has chosen you to become a new administrator. Congratulations. And she shows her this river, and it's like, look at this giant purple river. It's all the girl's misfortune, feeding our king. We'll create the tempest. And she's like, what is the tempest? And Nana says that it's this event where all malice will be gone from the world, and most people won't survive it, but some people will, and those people will probably be pretty happy. So, and then like a giant eyeball is talking to Yellow, and she's like, congratulations, you're going to become it. It's the best. You can get rid of all misery in the world. Blah-blah. And so cut back to the other main characters that are still alive. Aya teleports all the other girls away to save them, but she's still here because she's not going to leave Yellow Girl. And Yellow Girl wakes up and she's gray now and she has red eyes, and she's like, I'm an administrator, now I'm evil. And Nana's still there, and she's like, haha, she's one of us now, blah, blah. And so the phone magical item reforms, but now instead of stopping time, it just like shoots red energy balls, which kind of sucks. I feel like they could have done something better there.
Yeah. Like, why does she lose the much more useful power now that she's an administrator, like the ones who hand out the powers?
I know, she'd be like so totally OP as an administrator who can also stop time. They can do whatever the fuck they want with her.
Which is why she can't do that, because otherwise the story's over.
Yeah. You just wake up and they're all just fucking dead. So conveniently now it just shoots red CGI energy balls. So Sickly Girl is dramatically trying to heal the bully, you know, because she's full of holes. And it's like, oh no, what if Bully Girl doesn't survive? Wouldn't that be awful? It's funny because, like, after something like this happened with a character in Magical Girl Apocalypse 2, where it's like he makes a character really awful, but then he decides that he actually likes them, so they just become this completely different character who, like, looks the same, but is otherwise, like, more or less okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, once she becomes a magical girl, she's just kind of like tsundere. But there was all that stuff before where she, like, was dramatically, like, trying to drown our character in a toilet and shit.
Yeah. You're right, though. It's just this, like, you know what? I like them now, so they're going to stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan your comic, guy. So then, like, the murder pink girl is like, I'll dramatically offer my blood, too. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Fucking whatever. And so meanwhile, in this episode, the Yakuza girl is fighting Kizuna Ai with their katanas. And Kizuna Ai just keeps multiplying because she's a digital girl. She can do that kind of thing. And katana fight. I don't care. I don't know these characters. I don't give a shit. And somehow that she ends up beating her by like. So her katana's power is to harden things to cut them. Somehow she ends up beating Kizuna Ai by catching lightning and then like throwing lightning at her with her katana like it's Sekiro. But I don't know why she has that ability. But it wins, and it wins the battle.
Cool. That's awesome. It's awesome when someone just pulls something out of their ass like that and wins.
Yeah, she pressed the attack button at the correct time while jumping to use lightning deflect. And it's good.
Have you just to derail for a slight second? Have you finished Sekiro now?
Yes, I did finally finish Sekiro.
Yeah. Was it fun? Was it everything you dreamed?
Yeah, I'm already replaying the New Game Plus because I got to get the different ending where you're a bad boy. But you don't know, Sekiro is so tired. The entire game is just this tired ninja protecting this little boy that's like, you're my ninja. And it's like, yeah.
So yeah, it's quite specifically targeted at you.
Yeah, that's some good ass shit.
Tired boy. Protecting a small boy.
Yes, it's so good. Play Sekiro.
Alright.
So anyways, new administrator Yellow Girl is chasing Aya around the school, shooting energy balls at her, and Aya's like, no, what am I gonna do? I don't want to run away. I want to do something. And and so she manages to teleport behind Yellow Girl and teleports them both to the beach. And she's like, remember we promised that we'd come back here together. It's all dramatic. Remember me. I love you. And Yatsumura starts choking her. She's like, meh, I'm still mindless. I'm gonna choke you. And so Aya shoots herself in the heart with her teleport gun. And that somehow is able to send her into like Yellow Girl's mind palace. Where Yellow Girl is like a little character seeing her parents being killed over and over and just being like, oh, the misery.
Right, okay, so this is inside her soul gem where she's a witch.
Yeah.
Basically.
And Aya appears to her and is like, we can do this together, blah, 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 it's okay, we can be strong together. And she takes out a glowing ball out of her chest and it turns into a little heart shape. And she's like, I'll share this with you. That's kind of cute. Yeah. And she's like, here's the most wonder thing in the world, Daisuke. Like she loves her. And it's very gay. and so you find out that she basically shared half her remaining lifespan with Yellow Girl.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
Yeah, that's pretty gay. and so Yellow Girl wakes up and she cry and they're all, oh, isn't this great? And so Administrator Nana shows up and she's like, hey, finish her off. Yellow Girl, you're one of us, remember? Bleh. But Yellow Girl's like, no, I'm back to normal. And so she uses her time stop power and Aya uses her teleport gun and that's how we get to the thing that we saw at the very beginning of the show where Nana is frozen in front of the train. And the two girls appear, and they're like, haha, we got you, we're gonna kill you. And so, because Nana is OP, even though time has stopped, she can still talk to them, even though she can't move, and she's floating there in front of the train, and she's like, I have one last question for you. Are you unfortunate? and I was like, I became a magical girl because I was unfortunate, but right now, my misfortune, that's not for anyone else to decide. And they both aim their sticks at Nana dramatically and say, we are not unfortunate. But, like, all they need to do is unstop time. So I don't know what like she dramatically aims the gun, but it's like, but then she doesn't do anything with the gun. They just unstop time and Nana gets hit by the train.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
They just wanted to pose dramatically. So they and Bully Girl was saved, thank goodness, and everyone's fine, everyone's alive. Right. And the administrator is like, "What are we gonna do now? I don't know. We'll just have to get more girls, whatever." And and they're like, we got to stop these girls. They're too cool and strong. And Aya and Yellow Girl are like laying in bed together, and they're holding hands, and they're like, we're gonna get through this together because we're not unfortunate. We're cool. And then you see the white-haired girl wake up, and she's like, fall deeper into misfortune, girls. Bah, ha, ha, ha. I'll get you yet, my pretties. And that's the end of the show.
Okay. Cool.
So that's Magical Girl Sight.
In terms of the main two's little relationship there, did that actually start to get to you? Like you started to like them because they were cute and gay?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like, again, that's why I was so, like it actually did bum me out to find out that he pulled that whole they're secretly twins shit in the manga. Because, like, that was one thing that, like, does kind of work legitimately emotionally is them, like, growing closer together and, like, everything's all fucked, but they're still just, like, genuinely having a good time together, loving each other and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that would suck.
What you gonna do?
That's
fucking trash.
That's trash for you.
Hey, there's some trash.
That's the thing, because you get people who like will defend the show or shows like this by saying like there's this one little aspect that I liked, you know, and that makes the show kind of worthy. And it's like, yeah, but you can probably find that aspect in like a better show.
Yeah.
like I guarantee there's other shows with girls in a nice relationship and getting through stuff that doesn't involve a sex dungeon and all the other shit that this one had in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the brother in the sex dungeon is like one of the last things you see. So it's like there was all this dramatic, emotional stuff, and then it's like, by the way, don't forget this is fucking trash bullshit. Anyway, okay.
Just so you know.
Want to make sure you remembered.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Magical Girl Sight.
That's it. That's the majority of the post-Madoka Magical Girl content covered.
Do you feel affirmed now that you know?
I do. And it's half the battle. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just... I know what you mean when you say that it was more interesting. Like, because it was kind of wild and stuff, you know, interesting stuff happened. But I think I would have been more frustrated watching this. Because, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about, like, Oscar, as dull and as gross as it was, I knew exactly what they were doing. And I understood it. Whereas this, I would have been frustrated by the fact that I just cannot make head or tail of what they were shooting for. You know? That's
funny because, like, I think that's the only thing that, like, that's why I read as much of it as I did, because there's just that feeling of, like, what are you doing? And then you keep reading and because you want to find out what they're doing, but you never find out what they're doing.
Yeah. People did watch Lost for a long time.
Truly, this is the Lost of dark magical girls.
I guess I'm more prone to just giving up a lot easier. Yeah.
Sometimes I just get in that mood. I'm just like, I want to read something that, like, I know I'm not going to like and just fuck it. Well, that was a show.
That was a show, yeah.
Hey, I wanted to start, like, at the end of talking about bad shows. I want to recommend a good show.
Recommend some stuff. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay, I'd recommend... What would be a good thing bouncing off of this? I'd recommend Princess Principal. It's a show that looks like it shouldn't be good. It's actually really good. It's about spy girls in a steampunk London kind of thing. The ending isn't super great because it has like kind of like rushed ending because they found out that they were going to be making more of it in some form. But otherwise, it's actually really solid. You should watch it. Princess Principal. It's also on Amazon.
Yeah, you've recommended it a couple of times. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'll watch it at some point.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of magical girls, as of the recording of this, there's 2 episodes of the new Madoka anime out. It's fucking wild as shit. We're definitely gonna have to talk about it.
Yeah, we definitely will talk about it once we're done with Ruby. We've only got 3 weeks of that left as of this recording. No, you say, oh no, I'm quite ready to be done with it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think we might do a thing where we start doing that weekly too. We'll do like a recap and then go from there.
Yeah, I do think that there will be enough to do weekly because they're definitely trying. I don't know what they're trying to do, but they are trying.
They're trying something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see you for that stuff.
I guess we will. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to come out before we do our summer preview, but it probably will. So we're also going to do summer, winter, the winter anime season preview. We've got some stuff down we're going to watch. We can tell you what's new and what's out and what's worth looking at.
Yeah, I've already seen one good show and some real trashy trash, so I can't wait to talk about it.
All right. But yeah, we'll see you again for that very soon, I'm sure.
All right, have a nice anime.
See you.